Beyond, my name is Colin Moriarty. I'm senior editor of IGN, and I'm here to show you a little bit of an experiment we're doing in the office with the DualShock 4 controller. We got some DualShock 4s in the office yesterday, and we've been playing around with them. You might have saw my unboxing video that I did for the DualShock 4. Nothing too exciting there, but worth looking at nonetheless. But the rumor is, or the rumor was, because we know it's true now, that DualShock 4 works with PlayStation 3, at least with certain PlayStation 3 games. And while the functionality on the DualShock 4 might not all work on PlayStation 3. For instance, the little touchpad won't work, the PlayStation button doesn't work. We thought we'd show you a little experiment that we're going to do here with Super Stardust HD, which was an early PlayStation 3 game by Housemarque. So as you can see here, I'm using a DualShock 3, and I'm moving around fine. I'm moving around the menus on my PlayStation 3 fine, but I'm going to shut the controller off. And then I'm going to pick up my DualShock 4. Now you can see the DualShock 4 is connected to my PlayStation 3 with a micro USB cord. By the way, this cord will not come with the controller if you buy it separately. It will only come with your console. And as you can see, I'm using the D-pad or the analog stick, the left analog stick, and I'm again getting around just fine. So why don't we go in here and load up Super Stardust HD, which is one of the games that will actually work with the PlayStation 4 controller. All right, so we're loading up Super Stardust HD. You're going through some of the menus here. As you can see, the controller's connected, and I'm not sure if you can see the hue. There's a little bit of a light there on the bar indicating that it's plugged in to my console. So it says press start button. PS4, DualShock 4 doesn't have a start button. It has options. You press it, it works. You can go up and down the menus with the analog stick or the D-pad. So I don't have my save on here, so we'll just go into arcade mode and start at the beginning on normal, go to the live level, and then I'm pressing X to get through all this on the DualShock 4. And it works totally fine. So the planet loads up and we're moving around. Now I'm moving around with the left analog stick, as you can see. I'm shooting with the right analog stick, as you do in Housemarque twin stick shooters and many other twin stick shooters. I'm using bombs with the L2 button. I can get around quickly with turbo with the L2 button, the other one with the R2 button. So as you can see, the game works fine on DualShock 4. Now, as I said before, here's the rub. If I wanted to get out, I can pause the game with the start button, but if I want to get out, the PlayStation button doesn't work on DualShock 4. Don't know why. So you can, even though my controller here, my PS3 DualShock 3 controller is off, I can just press it to turn it back on, the PlayStation button. And then even though DualShock 4 is on as the first controller, and therefore this comes up as the second controller, I can just hold down the PlayStation button and then quit out back to cross media bar. And the cool thing is when you do this is that you can actually have both these controllers on and they work fine functionally on the cross media bar individually, even if they're both on at the same time. So you know, I can move around with this, and then I can move back with this. So it's cool that DualShock 4 works as a second controller for certain games. It's just we don't know how many of these games it's actually going to work with. That's where you come in. If you have DualShock 4, because you can find them in stores now, in certain GameStop stores and things, let us know in the comments below if you've experimented and figured out which games work and which games don't, because we're going to try to compile a list for our readers. And in the meantime, you want to keep it tuned to IGN for all your PlayStation 4 coverage in the weeks leading up to the release of the console on November 15th in the United States. And we'll have a full slate of reviews for you to read before then. Until next time, beyond.